Hi, this is Tradu, and this is my Mythic one-armed bandit shadow commentary VOD review guide thing. Where I'll explain what I did, why I did it, how I played the fight, and so on. And first of all, as usual, I'll go through talents and gear. On the talents, this is the third Archon fight, the third and final one. And just like on the others, you'll be playing with Shadow Crash. And here I actually played the new build I did mention previously with Death Speaker Mastermind. On the class side, nothing special, none of your utility does anything, except Phantasm can be very slightly useful because the Healing Absorb gives a slow. Fade with Phantasm removes the slow part, but not the Healing Absorb, so it can be useful if you are slowed and need to get out from something. Then you can fade if it's ready and walk slightly faster, but for the most part it's all useless. On the trinket side, this is definitely an Eye of Kazan boss. It's like 7.5 minutes long. You really care about damage in the end of the fight, so Eye of Kazan, very good. Otherwise, just play your good trinkets. Unused trinkets, pretty good for the same reason, but the jug is just broken, so play that if you have it as well. That's it for the gear and talents. Next up, cooldowns. Very simple. You have cooldowns. When they are ready, you press them. And potion with your last set of CDs with Bloodlust at like 6 minutes or whatever. Realistically, you won't actually press them as strictly on CD as here because mechanics happen and things get delayed and whatever. But you try to just press them on CD because that way they naturally more or less line up with ad sets, which is your job on this fight. You are there to kill ads while not losing too much boss damage. For defensives, you just kind of have to use them reactively when you get mechanics, because there aren't any huge hits except for one, and that one, even that doesn't hurt that much. So yeah, use your CDs when you get targeted by the flame debuff in particular. And let's get into the video. On pull, pre-crash, so you hit the guys and stuff. Make sure you ninja pull by like 10 seconds so all the melees get upset that they don't get to pad. But yeah. Then bait coin, all the range stack up so the coin gets baited towards your marker. That way everybody can get the buff and do big dam. And then here, during this set between the void bolts, you get ads, you start dotting them. What I do usually is crash between the middle ad and then the boss towards where it's going to be moved. That way the ad gets the debuff and the boss gets refreshed. The ads here on the boss frame are in fixed order. They will always be in the same order every time, so you can use the boss frame to dot instead. I do like a mix because my brain is weird, but you can use it. Getting the coin buff is pretty important. It's 10% damage, 30% movement speed, which is very nice on this fight. So yeah, make sure you get as many of those as you can. Then here on the second ad set, your halo is already going because you pressed it on cooldown, but that's fine. And make sure when the ads spawn, you are always hitting the one that melee and not cleaving, basically. So in this case, that's the middle one, but it just depends on the ad set. Make sure you don't get hit by the coins that fall over. They have a fixed travel distance, so when the boss is over on the sides, the coins are going to drop like here. Then there's these small bomb ads, which you want to shadow crash. I was a bit late on it, but you can technically pre-crash them as well. It's after the coin gets deposited, that's when they spawn, or the 2 coins, I guess. And by coins I mean bombs, but the tokens, whatever. Then there's one thing here with the pylon. Here, the tanks decide where this goes, and it's very nice when the pylon is in range of all of the ads, because yeah, we have a 46-yard range. If it gets placed slightly further out, you can't reach the far ad. So having this positioned well helps quite a lot, because it means you can just get dragged into it and not need to fight against the suck. Especially now that they've made the ads spawn in fixed positions instead of with slight variation. It's really nice to be able to get all of them. And again, here you have an ad set that needs to be crashed. And yeah, then they die and turn into a lot of fire, which is spooky, and you need to dodge it. The coins are a little bit finicky because, like, you want to get the buff, you want to be close to them, but judging the range can be a bit hard. They did increase the length of the blue line at least, so it's easier to tell where it's going to go and line up for it. But yeah, that takes some practice. Don't get rolled over because then you die. That's not good. Here's the one place where defensives are assigned. I don't use any because my brain is tiny. Usually I would fade it because that's free. But I hold Desperate Prayer because it's just nice to have if I get spooky healing absorbed that needs to be removed, or if I get the fire debuff, for example. One thing you can do for the coins as well is try to keep an eye on where they land and see where your hunter is at any point, so you know where they're going to be coming from, because that makes it easier to find them. For the big hit, what you want to do is you want to gate out to the side you won't be using ideally, but otherwise just use a gate, get out, drop it somewhere that isn't in the way. And then if you get it multiple times in a row or get it again before the gate debuff is gone, you are kind of sad, but there's not much you can do. You just try to walk out as much as you can. Ideally, you have the coin speed buff, which helps quite a lot with walking out, but yeah. And then here you have the dynamite guys spawning a couple of times. They spawned here, they spawned like 20, 25 seconds ago or whatever. Make sure you crash them and keep hitting the things that you are meant to be hitting. Okay, so on this kill, apparently I just didn't get any big hits or flame debuffs, so I couldn't show how to do it. And I get a flame here, which I just get dispelled somewhat close, but the boss is being moved away, so it's not too bad. Try to call out if it's going towards melee, because they are blind and can't see it otherwise. And with the big hit, I already said try to gate out if you can. Otherwise, move immediately, because it drops very quickly and it's very annoying. Then here you want to bait the pylons as close together as possible so they don't take up as much space. And then you just crash the ads, hit the boss, don't get knocked into bad things, dodge the fire. And then ideally you get the coin buffs. On the kill, I got 0 in the last phase, which is not good, but it is what it is. And then here with the big hits again, try to drop them out of the way, either where we came from or to the side, just not where we are going. And then here, if you get targeted by this fire line, also make sure it's get faced somewhere where other people are not. And you can just disperse and play it super safe. And here you can see I just popped all my CDs again, even though like Bloodlust is almost gone already because my CDs are slightly late. But it is what it is. And then here I get a big hit, drop it over to the side where it's not too far in the way. Luckily I don't block the coin. And then we just keep hitting the boss. Don't stand in these beams over here, the blue ones, because they instantly kill you. And then on this ad set, we don't kill them, just CC them away and kill the boss. And I think that covers most of what you can do. Void Elf isn't particularly useful for anything because it's not fast enough to do the big hit. You can use it to come back from a big hit or from the fire debuffs maybe, but that's kind of about it. Yeah, so that about covers the one-armed bandit. the best shadow fight in the raid probably. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully it was useful in some way, and I'll see you on the Mugsy video at some point.